What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots Wired. So this is part 28 of Let's Play Devil May Cry. So in this particular episode we're going to get further with some of these, get done with mission 15. And that's the particular fair about it as far as saying that the thing about this sort of stuff is we're actually more than 2/3 done with this game now, as far as saying I look after it, that the actual fray about it is there's only 23 missions. So I was kind of suspect I did a previous gameplay recording of this and I'm redoing it, but the fair as far as saying I look after kind of within the tangent that I'm supposing that the final boss is probably in mission 23 as far as this is going to happen. Hopefully it's not some sort of pull out all the stops like warrior kind of battle within the tangent where it's just going to be a lot of rage quitting and things like that. I like the ordeal as far as supposing was just kind of the tangent is me questioning. There's a number of things about this particular game. It's an excellent game within these pitches, but the format kind of about it just kind of as far as saying that the puzzles are not as bad as long as you have a walkthrough, but the only real thing that's really the concept that's really the grief about it within the aspect of being able to do is just the boss characters, which even the boss characters are not that bad as long as you have plenty of vital stars. It's just the pitch. The problem with it is you have to grind a bunch to get those, but then it's kind of if you take a bunch of damage you have to keep healing to get the tangents to get the vital stars. It's kind of a vicious cycle. So it's kind of pitch as far as saying that's the only real thing is just trying to stack those up and make some sort of money. But I just look after it. I almost question if I should start using the magic abilities or something like that as far as like, the red stars that restore the magic meter and those sorts of things within the tangent. But I definitely think this boss is probably more of cakework, just depending upon like the concept of just knowing like the caveats about the game. Was just the fact that I just have not returned to this game as oftenly enough within those atmospheres. It's just kind of I forget the gameplay about it with me checking in with it just infrequent within some of these type of fairs. Especially, paying attention to my main channel, the music channel where I do the reviews on pitches like that. The thing about it is it's only been like a month or something like that since I've played this game, but the fair about it feels a lot more when you do an album review every single day. It just feels like it just feels like time is passing a lot more within those tangents where things just get boring more quickly because, for me, I reviewed, 35, 40 albums this month, but it's kind of the fair as far as saying it's really only been 25 or 30 days that have passed. It's this kind of thing. When people say, oh yeah, Devil May Cry, you just did this, but yeah, that's a lot of music that's kind of been within the upgrade kind of about it. So it's just kind of pitch as far as saying, if I just look at it, so kind of on that channel, it's a little bit more where it feels like, months on top of months are passing, which really only been a couple of weeks for some of that. With this game, this is kind of like, oh, you're still in stage 15, so it's this kind of thing as far as saying, if I look after it here, I have at least been trying to figure out some of the next fairs about what's going to happen, because I do have a replacement game. I don't know, I think the fair about it, I want to go ahead and do Devil May Cry 2, but in the same tangent, I don't want to stay. I want to do some more Devil May Cry, but I realize I could probably be playing this series, because I don't know if I would go direct to the third one after this, but I could be playing this series until probably, into the 2030s as far as how long it'd probably take to beat, Devil May Cry 2 and stuff. So I just have to look at it. There's going to be some new stuff. The new game that I'm getting ready to purchase, I said I was going to purchase in August and September, but I just haven't had the money at the particular stage. It's kind of the fair saying it's not Devil May Cry 2, but it's kind of aspect as far as saying it is going to probably likely pop up within the next. It should definitely be somewhere within the next good while. I don't know if I'm going to project before Halloween, but it's just kind of tangent as far as just having that particular. It's just the consistent jugglings of everything is kind of deals with this. This has been kind of a busy time of year, pitches like that, so it's kind of an ordeal. Looking after it, I do think within the fray, getting towards it's going to happen, but this kind of has to be the aspect. But yeah, we're just kind of. So I don't know who this Mundus guy is within some of these type of pitches. Kind of interesting within these fairs, but yeah. I'm surprised that they haven't done a Devil May Cry movie. I would wonder, I don't know if I said this in one of these earlier episodes. I've been playing this game for 3.5 years, but I just question whether or not within the fair about it, just talking about this, like the particular, I'd probably say it'd probably be some sort of pretty boy that would probably play Dante as far as what's going to happen, but it's just kind of the pitch as far as saying it would definitely need more characters. There's just certain video games, when you mess with them, you realize that there's just not that many characters in the game. I definitely say, probably to pick someone, whether it would be, trying to think of some, say it could be Leonardo DiCaprio if he grew out his hair, but then he's kind of 50 now and things like that, so it's kind of tended. It had to be, I mean, if it would have been back in 2004, I would have said, yeah, it probably could. I mean, if Leonardo DiCaprio would have dyed his hair white, it totally could have been him. He could have pulled off like that goth and, you know, vampiric kind of atmosphere that Dante has. And there's probably some other type people in like a 2000s type action that wouldn't have been too bad. I'm surprised the AI hasn't done this, some sort of fair just picking. I mean, they did. I noticed they kind of did that with the Batman movie. There was like one that, just talking about those 90s Batman movies, they're going to have one that particularly was kind of amongst like the atmosphere as far as like doing like the fifth one that was kind of with those movies from back in those days. It was going to have like the Scarecrow enemy in there, realizing just, I mean, it was dope within the tangent just because they had that all mapped out. But it's just some good type fare. You'd think if they're able to make, you know, like Eminem songs and, you know, Dr. Dre songs and some of those types of tangents, all those type ones they can make within some of those type fares. Plenty of those folks, Eazy-E, some of those type folks in particular, you think within the atmosphere they could do something to say. I don't know if we're ever going to get to the stage where they'll create like AI movies, but it's kind of pitch. I'm surprised there's never been a script for it because they've done so many of them. I mean, every now and then they'll do some of those, but you'd think at some stage they'd do one for this. They need to do all the kettles hot. I mean, it's kind of fair. I mean, Devil May Cry's kind of been running in place. And that's, I mean, video games in general have been running in place. This is kind of the thing about it as far as saying, I mean, you talk about some of these type ones that have like the capital type atmosphere as far as what's been predominant kind of about it. And it's just kind of the thing as far as saying that this feels like the main fare is just the complaints about the prices, and it's just kind of the tangent. I mean, with the way inflation and that sort of stuff's been kind of happening, it's just kind of the fare as far as saying, but I just question how the actual, you know, good games have been kind of going. Cause it's just, I know there's at least a Devil May Cry 5, or I don't know if they went to 6 or 7 or some of those type ones, but it's just kind of pitch. I question if later entries in that are kind of as good as like the first 3 works. It's kind of the pitch. I mean, there's a lot of those. I mean, it's happening with Halo. Halo things have not been really been kept track of. Some of those affairs. In other words, a Halo Infinite, but apparently it wasn't good as Halo 5 or Halo 4 even. This kind of pitch. I don't know. These video games, there just needs to be some sort of colossal one. I really question if even Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be able to do it. I think it probably should. It'll probably be played until like 2040 or something by the time it comes out finally. But it's this kind of pitch. But yeah, that's something. Get ready for Mission 16 pitches like that, the home stretch, some of those type fairs.